Good afternoon, everyone. So we know that we are going through the economic subject here, and we have started the third chapter, organization of data. So in the previous chapter, we have seen that how to collect the data, what are the sources of data, what are the modes, and all the details we have gone through it. Now, certainly, what we are going to look after here, how to organize the data. In the previous classes or sessions we have discussed about the data. What is data? We know that in that raw data, specifically we discussed about the raw data. In that raw data we came across few of the things. It is what unclassified data is called as raw data. This many things in the previous session introduction part we have discussed. Now in that, how we classify the data we are going to see, and most probably why we classify the data we are going to see in the today's session over here. And after that we are going to see variables. There are most probably the two kinds of variables here that we are going to discuss in today's class. Let's see one by one. See, as the screen you can see that what is classification of data. You are going to see exactly, you are going to know what is that classification, why we are making the classification through this slides. See, easily you can understand the concepts over here just by seeing here how convenient it is. Let's see. See, meaning of classification of data. Now, how it is, the meaning has been given over here. See, it is a process of arranging data into homogeneous means similar one, group according to the common characteristics. What it is, the meaning says that here, the meaning of classification of data says that it is a process of arranging. Here what we are doing here, it is a process of arranging it. How we are going to arrange here it in the statistics subject, whenever we go through the classifications, or when we come here, arrangement in the class, it may be a set of arrangement, or else it may be the class intervals, or it may be a group. Okay, this is what the arrangement is been made over here. So it is a process of arranging data into homogeneous means similar one, groups according to the common characteristics. Now what is this commonly we, what we call this common characteristics here? See, here whatever the things, whatever the data you are gathered here, for example, students age you want to know, okay, or else marks of the students if you want to know, we are going to look after their characteristic. What characteristic it is? The marks. Like we are making the class groups or class intervals like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. We are making these groups. That is what we are the common characteristic. On that basis we are going to arrange the data here. Then next one, raw data cannot be understood easily, and it is not fit for further analysis and interpretation. Obviously, one thing in a previous session what we have discussed over here, raw data is unclassified, right? So for that, if you are storing it for future use, for interpretation, for any of the purpose, interpretation or analysis, it is not convenient for you, it is non understandable, it is not easy to understand over here. That is what one of the thing what we call here. So what we are going to do in this concept, after the raw data we know that it is unclassified, which is not arranged one in a proper way. So here we are going to arrange it in a proper way, in a groups or sets or class intervals, in such a way that it should be easily interpreted. See, same continuation line. This arrangement of data helps users to comparison and analyze. It should be easy to understand first, then comparison you can make, and easily analyze it. Analyze means what? One of the students, if we are taking the 6 subject marks over here, where he is lagging behind, where he is having a problem, that we are going to understand over here. When we understand that concept, most probably when we are understanding the concept over here, that is what we can easily analyze it. So and so person, for example, is weak in mathematics subject, so we can concentrate on that subject. Then he is good in English language, subject, or he is good in a social science subject. That is what his strength, we are understanding it. It is what, when you make this arrangement, if suddenly 100 students data has been given without any of the that is what we call here, in the previous sessions we have discussed the raw data, 100 students marks it was told. When we make the class intervals and see the ratio, that will be very easy to understand over here. But here, when the 100 students marks are being given all over at once only, it is not understandable easily which student has taken which how many marks, or else 0 to 10 how many students have taken the marks, or else 10 to 20 how many students have taken the marks. That becomes a problem to understand us. For that purpose, we should arrange it in a proper way as per the characteristics. So this is what, very easy. That is what raw data is not easy to understand, as well as it cannot be used for the further references for analysis or interpretation. For that purpose, we have to classify the data. That is what the things are being told here. So even examples, let's see what is the classification of data. In the examples we can understand that the population of town can be grouped according to the sex, that age, marital status, etc. Now in one of the city, town or city, we can see that we can make the groups of the people. Sex, like how many females are there and how many males are there. Ages, age group, like you can make the class intervals like 0 to 20 how many are there, then 20 to 40 how many are there youngsters, then 40 to 60 middle age people, 40 to 60, then 60 plus old age people. That is what we can make the class intervals here, and we can make the age group. That is what the arrangement, how we can make here, how we can classify the data here in such a way that we can see here. Next, classification of data. The method of arranging data into homogeneous classes, that what we call here as a class intervals, what we measure in the class is according to some common features present in the data is called classification. Just the word classifications, we have seen the meaning of the classification, only the word classification. What it is classification? It is a method of arranging, it is method of arranging data into homogeneous. Now homogeneous means what? Marks of the 100 students. It is what the 100 students marks we have taken, means marks are homogeneous, same, but only what, the number differs here. How differs? Why? Because every students will not take the same marks. Most of, few of them may take, like 100 students are there, I'm telling you all, 100 students are there. In that 100 students, most probably 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 students, let's example 5 students have taken same marks, same marks, same marks are been taken by these 5 students, we can say. But class interval like 40 to 50, in these 5 students come into between. So what is a similar homogeneous we are taking, means the marks are homogeneous here. It is what, not different one, that we can see here. So here, what is characteristics? See, the method of arranging data into homogeneous classes, that the class intervals according to some common features present, like we are common features or characteristics, what we are taking here, the marks are the common features or characteristics is in the data is called classification. That is what we are going to learn over here. Now even one of the definition is that Professor Sacrist has told, defined the classification. How it is been defined? See, classification is a process of arranging data into sequence. Obviously now in the sequence. Now what we are seeing in the marks, from 0 to 100 marks will be there. See, 0 to 100 marks are there. Now in this we are making class intervals like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, so and so to 90 to 100 we are making. Now here in a sequence, it is not somewhere like 10 to 50 or 50 to, even the class intervals what we are arranging, that should be in a proper way, or else directly leaving 0 to 10, leave that 5 to 25, or directly 10 to 15 or 25 to 35. Anyhow you can't take, it should be on sequence. This is what sequence we call here. Randomly you can't make any of the class intervals in any of the way here. Okay, so next, according to the common characteristics, obviously now characteristics or features are one and the same, that what we are discussing here, or separate into different related parts. It depends now. Here, if you are taking the marks are the characteristics or features what we can call here, or else the height of the students we can take, or weight of the students we can take, right? This is what the thing here, data which we can classify over here. Then let's see the next thing. Now, as per the things, now this classification of data is broadly classified into four things. Now, how it has been classified? How? First, it says that classification of data. Firstly, it is chronological classification. In chronological classification, we can see here how it has been classified. The data has been classified on the basis of the years. How the year wise, in the example also you can understand, but before that let's see how the chronological the groups are been made here. See, when data are grouped according to time. Now, chronological classification what we are seeing, it is based on, now we are talking about the time basis. Now in this we can understand the year wise example has been taken. As the time passes, we make the groups over here. Now here we, it has been told here what, when data is grouped according to time, such classification is known as chronological classification, which on the basis of data, which has been based on time, just like years it may be, months it may be, quarters it may be, or weekly also. Here you can see in the second point, in such a classification, data are classified either in the ascending or descending order with reference to time means it may be years, months, then quarters, or even weeks. In this way the data has been classified. This is nothing but on the time base. As the years are passing, we are seeing the population of our nation is increasing. In the year 1951 we were having just 35.7 crore population, but after that 61 it increased over there 43.8 crore, then 71 54.6 crores, then 81 1981 68.4 crores. Then next again it has been increased 1991 81.8 crores, then 2001 it is 102.7 crores. Then next at the last 2011 when the last census survey was conducted, it is 121 crore of population we are having as per the time we have measured over the data, as per the time. See, year wise we have seen here many of the examples are there. You can see the many examples, just like you can take into consideration monthly expenditure of every family. In the last month you made the expenses nearly 4500, you have made the expenses last month. Okay, month means now it is November, this is October month, now November month it is like 5000 you have made. Means what? Just like on the time basis, the things have been arranged over here. So as per the time, this is what time period. It is what as the month wise, quarter wise, or year wise, what we are going to make is called as classification according to chronological order. On the basis of time, we are making the classification. Remember this, on the basis of time, we are going to make the classification here. So as the first got over, when data is grouped according to the time, such as classification is known as chronological classification. In such a classification, data are classified either in the ascending or descending order. Obviously, now as I mentioned here, the years, it is on the ascending order. Soon after, it is nowhere I have not written here like 1951, 1981, 1981, then 2011, then 1991. No, This is not in a sequence or ascending or descending order. It is anyhow randomly it has been told. Now how we can arrange is in a sequence ascending or descending order. 1951, 61, 71, 81. This is not ascending order, or else 2011, 1, then 1991, 81, 71, descending order. This is what the arranging the data on the basis of time period that we can call over here. So we call it as a chronological order, the data which is classified under the time. It may be like year, quarters, monthly or weekly year. So it is also called temporal classification. On the basis of time what we classify, even we can call it as a temporal classification over here. So from this you can understand that chronological classification, which is on the basis of or the reference of to the time, such as years, month, quarters or weeks. This is on the things. So this gets over. Let's see the next one. So next one is geographical. Now what is geographical means? Geography, the subject, the word, it is similar to you, everyone knows that geographical word means on the basis of area. Geographical means on the basis of area or location. Here we have used the word location. Let's see when data are classified with reference to geographical locations. Locations means area here, such as countries, states, districts, etc. It is known as geographical classification. Geographical classification also is been known as spatial classification also. It has alternative name as well. Geographical classification may not be asked. Similar word for geographical classification is what? Spatial classification also. These things, please, I request you all to remember these points, where in the last slide also somewhere we have temporal classification is known as chronological classification also. Then here geographical classification also is known as spatial classification. Some of the times the questions will arise, what is spatial classification? That time you will not be remembering that word. So these things, wherever the two names are there, two or three names are there, that time you have to know that what exactly geographical means. Actually we another name is there for that. What it is? Spatial classification over here. So when the data are classified on the with reference to the geographical location, that is what area, what we can easily understand, instead of using the word location, area also. But you write the answer with the word location only, just for understanding. I'm telling you on the basis of area, our nation, okay, where it is located here. So such like countries, then states, then cities, or else districts, etc., is known as geographical classification. Even it is known as spatial classification over here. See here the example is taken, yield of wheat. Wheat means give, for different countries where we are having wheat more, where we are having more here. See somewhere we are having very few of them. The highest where we will be having the wheat is where it is Germany, then second France, then third China, then fourth India. Then see, as per the agriculture statistic, Indian agriculture statistics at a glance, 2015, what they had made the survey, where more maximum the wheat is been there in the year 2013. As per the data 2013, it has been told over there how much India, at what ranking it is, on the basis of that area where the yield of wheat, where the wheat production is more, that the data has been told over. In Germany it is more, then second it is France. In that easily you can understand on the what basis they have made the uh, classification, on the basis of the areas. That is what area may be, the location may be, countries. Here the countries names are being given. Now most probably if you take the local area, where in our nations, where maximum sugar cane is available in our India, maximum sugar cane. Sugar cane means, you know, sugar means everyone know that. Sugar cane, where it is most probably available more in quantity, Maharashtra, Karnataka, right? That is what the thing. Just like you can have in, it has been measured in tons, just like 50,000 tons Maharashtra. Okay, Karnataka nearby 45,000. In same way, can you go to the Rajasthan and ask how many tons of sugar you are producing or sugar cane you are growing? No. So few of the states are there. Even other, let's take Kerala, like 35,000 tons. Just like example, I'm giving the example here. It is nowhere it has been told over. Just I'm giving the example. So locally we know that. Okay. Then as per the things in state wise, this is what the in the slide you can see that country wise it is state wise. Where wheat is more, just take the same word wheat, where you are going to get more wheat. गेहूं कहां पर ज्यादा मिलते हैं? Where we get more, most probably if you see, it is in Punjab. You are going to get more wheat. So it is what highest production of wheat is done in the Punjab. Even in the Pakistan it is there, where we are having the this one agriculture land. Indian people will go there in the Pakistan and work in their fields, and their Pakistani people will come in our nation in India and work in the field. Many of the things are there just for general knowledge purpose. We are discussing about the things here. So let's go for new slide. So next one, qualitative. Now what is this qualitative classification? Under this classification, data are classified on the basis of some attributes, qualities like honesty, beauty, intelligence, literacy, mortality status, etc. Now this is what quality based data classification. Now for example, here example is been given, we can see most of the type. Literacy rate, where is most highest literacy rate in India? Do you have any idea? More literacy rate, literacy means educated, more educated people, where are there? If you see, the Kerala stands first. Kerala, Kerala stands in the ranking first, where more of the people are educated. More of the people are educated in Kerala. And next, it comes to the Karnataka, where good quality education has been provided. Okay, that is one of the general data where you can go through it. Now the things keep on changing. Even north side, many of the people are, most of the intelligence people are there. Most intelligent. Like everywhere, if you see central level job, if you go and refer, most of the time people from Punjab, then Delhi, they will be cracking the examinations, and Kerala, Hyderabad, many of the people or the population is there who are working in the central jobs, central government jobs. Why? Because that much of quality education they are providing. See, even our Karnataka is not much behind here. From Karnataka also the quality education is there, but in few of the fields, not every field, but in a few of the fields. If you see the Kieli College is world recognized one hospital we are having in Belgaum city, world recognized. Why? Because Malaysian people come here and learn here. They are having separate batches for them. From Malaysia, the doctors are been doing MBBS in our Belgaum city. Here you may be having some of the ideas over here. Just you can go through it. General awareness should be there about it. Just I'm giving you all the idea why the literacy rate we are talking, even the intelligence what we are talking about. Most probably, our I will give you all one of the ratio. In that, everyone know that scientist, NASA space center, you all know. Yes, everyone knows that. There, most probably nearly 27% of population, 27 or plus of the population, sorry, not the population, the employees who are working for the NASA, there, our Indians are there, nearly 27%. Most probably it is more or less, it may be more but not less, more more than 25% of the scientists are Indian in NASA. Why they have gone there? That quality of education they have taken in our nation and working for the nation. It is wrong thing, but in economics we have certain things where you will be knowing many of the things, like in the huge things, our education system is adds best education where we can see our nation. Why? Because so only the other countries people are coming and learning in India, and most probably in Belgaum city the Malaysian peoples, you can see here in KLE hospital, they are having their batch separately, where our Indian are not taking any of the admission in that group. Their language matters, and even all the things, whatever the things are there, practical oriented cases in India, how many happens or occurs are not there in any of the countries. Here you can see that much of practical things here, and best medical facilities are available here as compared to the other countries, other states. Let's consider only about India. In Belgaum, in KLE, best techniques and technologies are being used over here. That is what one of the thing here. So we are talking about the qualitative. That is what we came across: intelligence, literacy also, and materiality status. On the basis of this, you can calculate the things just like the classification of data, like total number of populations in one area. In that we are going to see how many males are there, how many females are there. In that, how many are married and how many are unmarried in the males and in the females. That is what one of the example for the this one, qualitative classification. So I will repeat one more time. Qualitative classification: under this classification, data are classified on the basis of some attributes, that is, or qualities, just like honesty. Honesty is very few to know. Then beauty, on the basis, just like Indian Miss India and Miss World, that is what the beauty. Then intelligence, that is what, how intelligent you are. Then literacy rate, how educated people you are having. The material status here. Down you are having the same example here. For example, people can be divided on the basis of material status, that is married and unmarried. Here in the total population we have seen how many females are there, how many males are there. In that, how many married are there, how many unmarried we are having here. So here you can see here, this is what we call here as a qualitative classification. The next one, let's go for next one, quantitative. Now what is quantity? Quantity means, everyone knows that quantity means the weight, what we purchase, right? Is that quantity? Quantity means on the basis of weight, height, income, age, or marks of the students, what we may measure or classify the data, we call here as a quantitative classification. So let's see. This type of classification is made on the basis of measurable characteristics. What we can measurable. Now quantity is measurable, quality is not measurable in terms. Okay, that is what we can see here. So most probably the measurable characteristics like weight of the students, right? Then weight of the students, what we can weight, or height of the students, what we can see. Then age, most probably we are not having the same age in one class of the students. Yes, you will accept it. See, everywhere you are now, soon after the 10th you will be ending with the 16 years, 17th year you will be having the first PUC first year class. But some of them, at the end of PUC first year, they will be finishing the 16th year. Very few, means everyone is not having the same. Just like I'm taking the example of age of the students in the PUC first year class. So every student's age is not the same. That's what the example you can see. Then income. Now if we see the income of the people in one of the area is not the same. Just like in your street or in your colony, everyone's people, those who are working, everyone's income, if you calculate or collect the data, can you see that everyone's income is the same? No. As per their positions, as per their businesses, they may have different income, right? That is one thing. So here quantitative data is made on the basis of some measurable characteristics, just like height of the students, weight of the students, age, income, or marks of the student. Example, we have discussed this previously. Marks of the student, that is what on the basis of class intervals you can see that. 100 marks students were given, that is what the raw data. Now it is classified. When you classify the quantity data, how the data will be looking here? Class intervals from 0 to 10. Here 0 to 10 only one is there. 10 to 20 we are having 8 students over here. That is what frequency most probably we can call over here is frequency rate of 100 students we can see here. So 30 to 40 we are having 7. Then this is quantity. On the basis the marks from that group, how many students are there, that we are basis of the quantity we are looking forward there. Then next, let's see what are these variables. Continuous and discrete variables are there. On that basis we will be having certain problems further here, just like telemarking we are having in this chapter. That is what we are going to make the here as we have made the class intervals, same we are going to find out the frequencies, we are going to make telemarking, we are having the further sessions on that. So let's see what are these variable. Variable means what? Here the term variable is derived from vary. Means what it is? The word is been derived from vary, which means differ or change. Vary means which keep on changing. Variable means what? The number which keep on changing, we call it as a variable, which changes or difference or differs, 1 2 3, which goes on changing or differs, that we call as a variable here. Hence variable means characteristics which varies मतलब change होता है, or differs or changes from person to person. Now here what you are having knowledge or what I am having knowledge is difference. What is your age, what is my age is difference. That is what, that is time, place, person. Every person is having different knowledges, ages, or it's any of the qualities. Okay, then this is what we can call here the variable is a word which has been derived from vary, which means differ or changes. That is what difference between the two people we can see, or changes between two people we can see, or time to time our difference behavior in the school and colleges we can see the time changes the persons also, that you can see. And place to place, where you are at home how you behave, and in the school or colleges how you behave, the difference you can see over. That is what variable we can call over here. Then variable refers to the call quantity or attributes. Attributes means most probably the behavior of your attributes, which values varies from the investigation to another. Now however I am telling you variable, how the things, how you will be behaving at your home is not same how you behave in the college or school. Yes, the behavior differs, right? You know, the changes, there is a change between the variables. That is what the attributes what we call here. Many of the examples are given over here. See, the price is a variable, as prices for different commodities are different. Obviously the price are different means there is a variable factor here. So age variable, as a age of different students varies. Obviously how many students are there, everyone is not having the same. Some of the students may be in the 15th, means his age may be 15 but he is learning in PUC first year. Some of the students age may be 17 but he is learning in this one first year, or as 16 who is 16th he is learning in first year. This is on the basis of age basis we can make the differentiation. Some more examples are that height. Obviously the height of the students is not the same, weight also. Then students over, then wages of the in people are not the same, expenditures also are not the same. Then exports imports of production of the goods and services for of the businesses are not the same. Today 100 goods we have produced means tomorrow I will go for 150 units of production. That is what a difference here, that is what we call here as a difference word here though. So most probably we'll be using the word here variable. So let's see, two kinds of variables are there here. One is continuous, another is discrete variable. Let's see. First one is continuous variable over here. Now what is this continuous variable? See, those variables which can take all the possible values, integral as well as fractional, in a given specified range is termed as continuous variable. Now most probably what this continuous variable means here? Example also is with given here. Most probably the students, if I am measuring the height of the students, now that value should be continuous, just like I will tell you 90 centimeters, 91 centimeter, then 92 centimeter, okay, 93 centimeter. So this is what it is. It is what possible values, what we call a specific in the range. Now the height of the students like 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, at least this much inches, feet height will be there till 6. Okay, this is what the range we can call over here. Height of the students for PUC first or 10th standard or PUC 2, students height is this much, or weight just like 45, 46, 47 till 55 or 60. That is what height. This much only can be there in a specific, specifically what we can call specific range is termed as continuous variable. For example, we can see here temperature of temperature of your heat temperature or height, weight, marks. Marks can be most probably from 10, 0 to 10, 10 to 20 till 90 to 100. That's it. This is what we can see here. So it is what specified range. Remember the word range here. Okay. So again we are having certain things. A continuous variable can be taken any numerical value. Any numerical value. It may be integral values like 1, 2, 3, 4, or fractional values 1 is to 2, 2 is to 3, 3 is to 4, and values that are not exact fraction values which are not exact, just like square root of 2, square root of 3, square root of still 7. That is what example has been taken. Just like for example, the height of the students, he or she grows say 90 centimeters to 150. So that is the range. Just like we can say here 90 centimeters to 150. We can have here 90. Now you can make the class intervals also 90 centimeters to 100, 100 to 110, 110 to 120, 120 to 130, 130 to 140, then lastly 140 to 150. That is what the class intervals. In such a way you can make the continuous variable. You can see this is what the specified range over there. You can see that word specified range means from 90 to 150. The students weight we have taken here, or height centimeters you can take. See, it would take all the values between them. That is what in this, out of this range, all the values can be taken over. It can take the value whole number as 90 centimeters, 100, 108, 150. It can take also fractional values such as 90.9, 90.85, okay, centimeters, then 102.34 centimeters. In such way the fractional values also can be taken over here. So this we call here as a continuous variable. And one more, discrete variable. Discrete variable is a jumping variable, means which is not in specified range here. Okay, as now what we spoke, specified range, here it is not in the specified range. Variables which are capable to of taking and only exact values and not any fractional values is termed as discrete variable. Like example you can take here, a number of workers or number of students in the class is a discrete variable, as they cannot be fraction in the same sequence. It cannot be, okay, just like this. See, similarly a number of students, number of children in the family can be 1, 2, 3. This cannot be measured in fractions 1.8, 2.5. Is there any of the things? No, it cannot be mentioned here. So discrete variable can take only certain values. Its value changes only with finite jumps, means it jumps like in one family only 2 are there, in second family 3 children are there,